With us now is Steve SILVA. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's so wonderful here.
What got you involved and passionate in the theater? What was the first moment that you just said, I must live this, it's my passion?
I always wanted to work in entertainment. And when I was in college at NYU, I worked at various movie studios while I was at school. And tried to, since then, really try to get back to be in the theater. My wife is a tremendous fan of the theater. And we decided to start trying to get involved in around 2009. And we were able to get involved in a couple of productions that have gotten Best Musical nominations with Tony Awards. And we've now been involved in it probably for about 8 years. During the time, we really were searching to try to find the right producer as a lead producer, someone that our company could work with and work for with that firm. And we were very lucky and found Tom Curtihy Productions, and Tom is just incredible and has brought us Anastasia, and we're just so happy to be involved with him.
That's quite a high-profile project to have been able to land. The moment that you found out that it was going to work, what did you do? Like, who's the first person you told?
Well, I spoke to SHANNA right away after a lunch with Tom, and I said, I have a lot to talk to you about. Tom and I are both from Long Island. Tom and I and SHANNA, we all went to NYU, and we have a ton in common, and we had long talks about Anastasia and knew really right away that this is something we wanted to be involved with.
Well, I congratulate you. I'm so excited. It's going to be wonderful, right?
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I just want to say a special thank you to the Garden City Hotel. When our idea came about to try to bring Broadway to Long Island, where so many people from Long Island go to theater, the place and the only place we really wanted to do it was here. So between Sarah Ann Fingerman at the Garden City Hotel and all the work of all the staff, we're thrilled to have this party here tonight.
Oh, excellent. That's so lovely. And yes, a big shout out to you, Sarah Ann, because you invited me. So stay tuned for more on Live It Up. With us now is SHANNA. So we got a chance to talk to Steve. How excited are you for tonight?
Oh my God. We have been planning this event for months and months, and just to have it here, there's just such an excitement, a palpable excitement in this beautiful hotel, and we're just thrilled to be able to introduce our show to Long Island.
Now, I heard that you are a theater enthusiast. Who inspired that for you?
You know, I think I sort of discovered it as a little girl, just always very connected to music and theater, and I'm also a writer, so just all creativity and arts is just, you know, so meaningful to me.
And do you sing show tunes all the time in your car?
I sing a lot of things in my car. Lately a lot of Springsteen, but a lot of things in my car, yes.
Well, maybe he needs his own Broadway show too soon, right?
You know, someone asked him about that, and he said that he would be open to it. So if that's ever going to exist in this universe, I have to be part of that.
And what are you most proud of about this production? Is it the cast? Is it the location? Like, what is it that's just really like hitting home for you right now?
You know, the story is so moving, and I think it has such a broad appeal that everyone of all different ages can find something that they attach to and is meaningful to them, and it's just an emotional experience to go through the show and to watch Anya's journey.
Well, I'm very happy for you. I wish you all continued success. You know, it's rare when somebody has a passion and then they decide to just really go for it, and I know the blood, sweat, and tears that it takes to actually get something launched, so way to go.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Pleasure to meet you. You too.
With us now is Terrence McNally. Welcome, sir, to the show. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Now, I know you have quite a beautiful history of working with theater. What brought you to this particular project?
Well, I've always loved the story of Anastasia. It's really the one authentic 20th century fairy tale. And I've worked before with Ahrens and Flaherty, who did the score on Ragtime. So a chance to work with them again, that was a great experience. So the combination was pretty irresistible.
Now, what made you say yes? Like, who called who? What meetings were set up? Did you meet in a smoky little diner? Like, what happened? How did it get put together?
No, they called up and said, we want to make a musical out of this. And I said, I'd like to look at there were two film versions of it. I'd like to see the two movies see if I still think it's a good idea. It sounds good, and then see what my approach would be. Because there's no point in putting the movie on, just taking the movie and putting it on a stage.
I agree with
So we
you
wanna make it-
100%.
We want to make it a fresh Broadway musical, and that I think we've done. And we did the old-fashioned out-of-town tryout at Hartford this time last year. We were shivering in Hartford, and we played it very successfully there for about 6 weeks. And
When you're sitting in the audience and you're watching it, when you're watching all the blocking and everything coming together, for you personally, what is that journey like? At what moment do you feel like, not so bad?
yeah, well, I wish I could say I felt that all the time. No, I'm always thinking it could be a little better, but what's nice about the theater is you have it next night, it can get a little better. Movies and TV that's it. So it's frustrating at times, but it's exciting. But, we see it every night, so we see little dips. Audiences don't. And I think they will embrace the show. We have a terrific cast, and they really don't let me down ever, or Lynn and Stephen down.
When you started your career in theater, or even when you were a young man, what inspired you to go on this journey? Was there somebody that said, hey, Terrence, you know what, let's go see a show? Or like, who was it in your life that kind of tapped you on your shoulder?
Well, I was very lucky. My parents took me to some good theater when I was very, very young. And I think that's how we build an audience for the future, is taking young people to the theater. And I saw Annie Get Your Gun when I was about 5. So I was hooked.
There you go.
And I grew up in Texas, but my parents were on a trip to New York, and I got to see Annie Get Your Gun with Ethel Merman, and that was enough.
That was enough.
Yeah, then since I moved to New York, came to New York at 17, I go to the theater about 3 or 4 nights a week. So I've seen a lot of shows.
I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, and you're right. There's nothing like it. I mean, live theater, to be there, and they always say, oh, the lights and the smell of the grease paint and everything. But once you're hooked, and it's an adrenaline thing for you.
And you really got to get young people into the seats for that to happen. So I was very lucky. My parents took me to a really good show, and I think Anastasia is a wonderful show for all ages, really. But there is a young woman at the center of the story. So that's she's someone I think we can all identify with, but especially young women probably. It's a very rich, complicated, historically accurate show, but it's got real sweep of romance to it.
Well,
So,
I'm certainly looking forward to seeing it, and I know tonight we're going to be, they're going to sing a little bit for us, right, tonight?
Yep, our handsome leading man, Derek Klena, is going to sing one of he's got 4 or 5 great songs, but one of the best ones, his first song in the show.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
My pleasure.
And I'll see you, if not opening night, then soon thereafter.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a deal.
Thank you.
Thanks.
With us now is Tom. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great. And you?
Good. Now, before, there was a lot of people mingling around, but then they just opened up the double doors because tonight is going to be a spectacular event. What's happening in the celebration?
Well, tonight, Prince Charming has come to the Garden City Hotel. The leading man of Anastasia, a young man named Derek Klena, is going to be performing a number from Anastasia, the new Broadway musical. He is a star of tomorrow. I mean, the show opens on April 24th, and I think on April 25th, everyone is going to know who this guy is. He's about to bring down the house.
And I got to go on Facebook just a little bit and some social media, and I got to see like a little bit of the rehearsals and things, and I think you're absolutely right. There's some type of charisma and karma almost with all of the ensemble.
Yeah. We did the show in Hartford last year, and it's every producer's dream that when you do a show out of town, it will be good enough to find its way to Broadway. And we knew after the first performance we had something magical on our hands. The entire run was sold out. We could have run for a lot longer, but we knew we had some work we wanted to do. We have new songs, we have some new choreography, and all of the composer and our book writer, Terrence McNally, have been working on the piece We just left the rehearsal room a few hours ago. This company of actors is as dynamite a cast as you'll ever see. I mean, it's Broadway royalty. We're thrilled.
Chills. I think you might be right. I usually always trust my gut. I'm a gut girl, you know, and I think you're right. I think this is going to be magic in the making. We're here tonight at the Garden City Hotel having this fabulous celebration, right? A big launch here tonight. What are you most looking forward to yourself when you're going to be sitting in the audience on opening night?
I want to share it with my mom. I'm a kid who grew up on Long Island, and these are dreams. I've been doing this a long time, but this is about the themes of home, love, and family. And there's no greater blessing. And so I can't wait to hold my mother's hand. I can't believe how emotional I'm getting. The show is beautiful, and I know my dad will be watching, but there is a magic about this music, about this cast, and about this story. And there are things that I care so deeply about. And so it's really sharing the experience with my mother.
Well, I know my audience is smiling right now because usually, I got a little tear myself. Usually what happens is that, yeah, my whole show is all about celebrating the essence of life. And so we cry, but we always cry happy tears.
Yeah,
so
no,
I love your happy tears.
They're such happy, and I'm startled. Truthfully, I was raised in Hauppauge. I have a home in the Hamptons. I've been to this hotel before, but I just can't believe how beautiful it is. And I'm a very fortunate man, and I've been working on Broadway for many years now. But this one has a very special place in my heart. I think this show is going to have a very long life all over the world because it captures people's imaginations, and it's about a strong young woman wanting to find out who she is and find love and security, and just to be reunited with her past. And I think that's something we all think about, like where we came from and where we're going, and it's a blessing. So.
I certainly agree. So you were just talking, we're just going to pick up right there. People want to find out like where they come from. In fact, recently for me, I've been doing my Ancestry.com. I did 23andMe, and because of Google Earth, I was able to find like in Quebec, the church where my great-great-grandfather had been baptized, and I think you're absolutely right. Now is the time to have an appreciation for the past and know where we came from.
Well, I think that we'll be spending a lot of time on that theme, and we don't want this to be an ordinary Broadway experience. We want the journey to begin before you've walked into the theater and to last long after you've left the theater. But once you're inside those walls, we'll be doing more than just putting on a show, and we'll be giving audience members an opportunity to consider where they come from and tell us about where they want to be, especially young people. And I think it's a lot about fulfilling our dreams, right? And again, I got emotional because I'm a kid who's actually living all of his dreams. I'm a very old kid living his dreams with a lot of gray hair, but
Faith, trust, and pixie dust, right? Peter Pan, take us away.
There it is. Yeah.
We won't grow up. We will never grow up. And do you have a favorite tune that you keep singing?
From this show?
Yeah, in the car. Yeah, what is it? Can you give me a
Journey
bar of
to
it?
the past.
Okay.
Oh, you don't want to hear my singing. That's why I'm behind the stage. I hire the actors and I let them do the work. It's pretty painful.
On that,
yeah.
We'll say okay. So we're going to bid adieu. Stay tuned for more on Live It Up. With us now is Derek, and he is the leading man. You are so beautiful and handsome.
Oh my gosh, thanks so much.
So, how did you feel when you got cast in this project?
It was kind of surreal. You know, when I first heard this was going to be made a musical, I was a huge fan of the movie. It was kind of the Frozen of my generation. So growing up, I always knew the film and I knew the character, and thought it'd be such a dream to get to play it. So when I definitely saw the press release come out for the first time, it was an out-of-body experience for sure.
And what has changed in your life so far? Because there's already like this huge following.
Yeah, it's crazy. The Anastasia crowd has gone wild. You know, we knew the show and the movie were so beloved and people loved it, but I think the response has been overwhelming, and the anticipation of this coming to the stage has been unbelievable. When we were out of town last summer at Hartford, people were so overwhelmed, and they came to see it, and they said they loved the movie, but the show gave them everything they wanted to see and more, and that's like all we can really hope for adapting this to the stage.
And how did you discover your love for the theater? Did somebody mentor you along the way to say, did somebody bring you to theater? Like, what was that moment where there were stars in your eyes?
I grew up doing a lot of children's theater, so I had a lot of mentors along the way there. But my mom, I have 2 younger siblings, and she exposed us to theater at a young age, and recognized that we had a talent and a love for it, and kept us with it. And I did a lot of sports growing up, so it was going hand in hand. But I'm so lucky to have found this Broadway community and to found New York. I'm from Southern California originally, but I've been in New York for the past 5 years. It's just surreal. I can't really believe that I'm here, a part of this show. Yeah.
I have one final question. What song are you singing in your sleep?
Oh man.
It's gotta be one. You wake up and you're like, wait, I'm not at rehearsal. I'm actually in bed.
And everybody thinks that it's going to be like either Journey to the Past in the movie, or Once Upon a December, the ones that people really love from the animated film. But there are 19 new songs that they've written for this show, and honestly, what song do I hum? There's a new song called Still that is brand new to me as well. That Ramin Karimloo sings. His role, Gleb, is kind of the villain of the story, and it's this new song that we've all kind of loved, and I hum it to myself because it's the one I know the least, and I'm very excited to hear it all the time because he sings it beautifully. So I think that's the one that's kind of sticking with me right now.
Excellent. And any words of inspiration for upcoming people?
Just put yourself out there as much as you can. I mean, every opportunity counts. You never know who you're going to meet in this crazy world of theater and entertainment. So I mean, take every opportunity you get to the fullest, and hopefully things will fall into place. The more you put yourself out there, the more that positive things will happen.
Well, it's lovely. We believe in you. Congratulations. We're looking forward to it. Opening night.
Thank you so much.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy journey.
Thank you.
All right. There you go. Right here, right now. Living it up. With us now is Michael Stern, who I last saw singing karaoke, or at least lip syncing at this contest for charity. How are you?
I'm good, doing very well. How are you?
Good. So you asked me if I wanted you to do a little Bon Jovi. Now, Bon Jovi's birthday's today. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but now I do. I know George Washington's birthday was just recently.
There you go. And he did not chop down the cherry tree.
No.
Okay, so we're here tonight at this great event. What brought you down?
Actually, a good friend of mine who told me about the event, and I love Disney and Anastasia, so I said, I'm going to come join and help out.
Excellent. Well, have a great time. I know that they've got like really authentic, ethnic, yummy, tasty food in there. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I'm hungry, so I'm looking forward to it then.
Russian tea cakes. Enjoy. Bring me one. Sneak me one. Okay.
Great
thanks.
seeing
Good
you.
to see you too. Bye. With us now is Patricia, and she is no stranger to Live It Up. In fact, she was on the very first season, and she just came up to tell me she knows one of the producers. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? You look amazing.
I'm having the time of my life. So now tell me what brought you down here tonight.
Well, I'm very good friends with SHANNA SILVA. I'm so proud of her. I can't tell you her love for the theater, and it's so amazing to see this accomplishment tonight.
Now, did you guys grow up together? Like, how did your journeys cross paths?
We actually met years ago when I was running a nonprofit called Children's Sport Connection, and we just immediately hit it off, and we became very good friends, and she's just an amazing person.
Well, congratulations, and I also got good news on you. I heard you're engaged to that handsome gentleman. Wow! Come on over, handsome gentleman. How are you? Good. So I just want to know the 3 things that you love about this woman.
Her face, her personality, her sense of humor.
There you go. You heard it right here, right now on Live It Up. And that's all we do. We just celebrate life. Okay, stay tuned for more. We're having a great time tonight. You never know who you're going to run into at one of these fabulous events here at the Garden City Hotel. How are you two? Good?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Good. Now, we've seen you all over MSG. You've been doing all kinds of touring and things like that. And I heard you're like pretty top-notch yourself. So tell us about your experience and how you guys kind of met.
We actually met through networking at a pink tie event quite some time ago, and network along with the same people. I'm an attorney here in Long Island. I do a lot of events with Mike Montori, Ray Thomas, pink tie, and Chuck and I kind of started dating after that.
That's the first time she's called me Chuck, actually, so that was kind of weird to hear.
Oh, what'd she call you, handsome? Is that what she calls you? Well, we're here tonight having a great time at the Garden City Hotel, launching this big Broadway show. What do you love best about theater?
It takes you somewhere else. I was in theater in college and even post-grad, so for me, you know, watching someone else on stage, it just takes me back, because that was a fun time. It was a really fun time. I miss performing, which is why I do what I do now, because I still get a chance to perform. But it's really an art. It's beauty to watch.
Now, I didn't know that about him. Does he serenade you with show tunes or anything?
All the time. He is singing all the time.
And what's one of his favorite tunes that you hear often from him?
Anything R&B. He is Mr. R&B.
And how about you? Does she serenade you?
No.
No. Could you sing tonight?
No.
No? There's no business like show business, right? Anyway, well, we hope you two have a wonderful time tonight. I know that they've got some great, like Russian tea cakes, all kinds of goodies in there. Maybe sneak me a few, would you?
I will do that.
Okay, because you know what it's like when you're on the mic, you get a little hungry, right?
You never eat on the microphone. It never works.
All right, thanks for being here. Have a really great time. So nice to meet you. Hey, on the red carpet, literally, it's a red carpet, is Phil. How are you, Phil?
I'm awesome. Good to see you again, Donna.
Nice to see you as well. So I know one of the things you love to do is you love to produce fashion. You produce fashion shows, fashion television, all kinds of things, and you've got a host of models. Yes. What's new for you lately?
What's new? Well, we just surpassed the 100 mark. We now have 100 models, actors, and performing artists signed on with us. And we branched out into Europe, and we're going to be opening up a branch of our business in Australia. So excited.
Yeah, it sounds very exciting. Australia, down under. How about Ryan, my camera guy? You want to go down? You want to go down to Australia? All right, I have friends in Australia. Let's go. I'm ready. My passport, I just got my passport updated.
Good.
It's an important thing to do because, you know, it almost expired. You don't want your passport to expire.
No.
And what brought you down here tonight?
Well, Sarah Ann, we met her at a fashion show recently. Milena Belafonte's fashion show with Henry Picotto. Said, Phil, you've got to come to this event. I said, I'd love to. And it's proven to be amazing. Just started, and it's amazing already.
There you go. Well, it's almost showtime, so thanks for joining us. Have fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So Sarah says that you paint on silk. What made you decide to do this?
Actually, I've been painter since I was 12 years old, and I started at the Hermitage, the palace where the royal family was growing up. So since 12 years old, I was educated to go through the traditional art. And then when I came to America, I decided to do art shows, and then I put together the collaboration of paintings, and now I work with the clothes.
Well, I congratulate you. I know tonight's going to be a lovely night. It's all about the theater, right?
Absolutely.
All about life and living it up in theater, and what could be more beautiful than your lovely artwork. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. And as you know, Anastasia, it's all about traditional art and performance. So that's going all the way back to the old Russia.
It's going to be a great night tonight.
Absolutely.
I want to briefly introduce you to someone that the New York Times has called one of the world's greatest living playwrights. He was inducted into the Theater Hall of Fame. He is a 4-time Tony Award winner for the plays Masterclass, Love, Valor, Compassion. He's also written the books for the musical Kiss of the Spider Woman, The Full Monty, near and dear to my heart, Ragtime, and he's written the book for the musical of Anastasia. Without further ado, I'd like to bring to the stage an American treasure, the great Terrence McNally.
Thank you very much. And I think it's a show that has something for everyone. I'm very proud of it, and collaborating again with Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty, we did Ragtime together, was one of the highlights of my life in the theater. And and it's a real pleasure to introduce an authentic leading man, Klena.
There's a sky and quite a view. Welcome to